Right, so it says, please upload your content onto Canvas. Please save your illustration in AI format. Let's look at the document. So the document says, cartoon trace. I want you to find a cartoon. And I want you to trace the cartoon and just trace the outline of it. Remember we talked about the term K? Remember the term K in CMYK? What did the term K stand for? Oh, jeez. Somebody's calling me twice. Hang on, guys. Hello? Sorry. Let me gather myself here. CMYK. Remember we talked about CMYK? What does K stand for?
Black.
So it does stand for black, but the K comes from another word. What was the other word called? Keyline. Keyline. Who said it? Heard somebody say it. Raise your hand. Who said it? Somebody said it.
Someone over there said
All right. Good job. Thank you.
We don't want to own
So keyline. What is a keyline? I used another word to describe a keyline that starts with a T. Close. Somebody said it. Trap. So a keyline is a trap. It's called a trapping. So it is a black edge that traps what? What's inside of it? What? Color. So a cartoon has a black edge around it that's acting as what? A trap. And inside of it, it has the color. So what I want you to do is to trace the keyline. I want you to trace the trapping. That's all I want you to do for homework 8. So but you need to pick a cartoon, all right? So pick a cartoon, draw all the trapping in it. Now, a cartoon's trapping is in K, it's in black. I want you to draw it in red for contrast, all right? So you can compare, I can compare your line versus the cartoon's lines. All right, so here it says, cartoon trace. Trace your cartoon character. Do not feel inclined to close your paths. So I drew my little character. I didn't close the paths. I just drew individual lines that were overlapping in a network. Paths should overlap, says it right there. Techniques. Place your reference image in its own layer. Convert the image layer to a template. Organize and name your layers. Trace your character with a red stroke. Please leave this information in a layer named outline. So the red trap that you're drawing should be in a layer called outline. All right, what do I want from you? I want an AI file. I want to see an Illustrator file and submit it onto Canvas. So I've uploaded some examples for you to use as a reference for your own, okay? Now, every once in a while, I get students that are really gung-ho and they're really excited about what we're doing. And I get these crazy like anime characters that have like probably 100 little trappings inside of it. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I illustrated Rigby, okay, if you know who Rigby is. So you'll notice this is my reference image. This is my blueprint, okay? So let's take a look at my file. I'm sorry, I don't know my way around Canvas. I get lost all the time. So here is my homework 8 as an example. So I'm providing this for you to see. Okay, so this is my red line work. Okay, does that make sense?
Kind of like outline, yeah?
Basically, yeah, it's the outline. It's the trapping. Now, I thought I embedded the image in this. I'm surprised it's not showing it. So let me open it up. So when you download it, it's going to show you the embedded image. And you'll notice that I have 2 layers. I have a template with my reference image, and then I have the image with the outline around it. So I'm giving this to you so you can have an example. All right? If you're a little confused, this is all I want. It's all I want from you.
So we can use any tools?
I just want you to draw the red outlines. Stay with me, please. Don't go ahead. Just do this part and be happy with it, okay? And then when we come back, we're going to illustrate it and finish it and learn how to make it a nice polished drawing. But I need you to do this first. This is the starting point. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? So how long do you think it took me to trace this?
2 minutes?
Probably about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, about 5 minutes. So if it takes you longer than 5 minutes, I think that's fair because we're learning. You'll notice that some of my line work isn't exactly like the arm. Did I make a mistake?
Yes.
Did I correct it?
No.
No. Why? Why?
Because you don't care.
Because I don't care, but do you care?
Yes.
Would you know the difference?
No.
No, you wouldn't know the difference. If it's handmade, a drawing, the character's moving, right? The arm could be in different positions. What I'm interested in is capturing the essence of the object. I'm sort of shooting for a general accuracy. Now, let's say I was illustrating an orange. I used to have these fancy assignments where we would illustrate photorealistic objects, and we would use fruit or flowers. Are two flowers alike? No. So if a petal was a little bit off, is it a deal breaker? No. Same sort of logic. I'm aiming for realism. I'm aiming for accuracy. But if I'm a little bit off, I'm 5% off. It's not ruining the outcome. So I'm going to be okay with it and just move on. So I want you to also be a little bit loose as well. That it doesn't have to be exact. Now, if that's a challenge that you want to place on yourself because you want to learn the pen tool really well, so be it. But if it's a little bit off, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. If you have a gap like this, I think that's a bigger issue. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is homework 8. Any concerns or questions about what you're doing? Yes,
What
Joel.
tools in general do you suggest for doing?
I drew this almost entirely with the pencil tool.
Pencil.
I used almost entirely the pencil tool. When we come back on Wednesday, I'll do a demo about how I would approach it. Now, there are some parts of this drawing that I use primitives. Can you make out where I use primitives? The eyes. It makes sense. They're very mechanical looking, so I'm going to use that. I actually used the pen tool on his hair, and I did that because it's really slow. And then I drew the rest of it with a pencil, and it took me like almost no time to draw it. And that's why I show these different techniques, because I want you to see the difference. I want you to see that in some cases, the accuracy of the pen tool is not really needed. If you learn how to draw well with the pencil and you have good hand and eye coordination, you can illustrate a lot of this just with the pencil
What do
tool.
you mean?
With the mouse.
With a mouse?
With a mouse. So I drew all this I drew all of this with a mouse.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I drew all of this with a mouse. But if you have one of these, it's even better, right? Super fast and super accurate. But right, Melissa, I drew that with a mouse, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty good with hand and eye coordination with a mouse. Okay. You guys prepared for this one?